Planters Bank was founded in 1946 by farmers and business owners because they needed a community bank that knew them and understood their business. A lot has changed since then, but Merchants and Planters Bank is still employee-owned and operated, and we're still committed to knowing and understanding the needs of every customer we serve. Great rates, fast turnarounds, and experienced local bankers ready to work for you. That's why you should choose Merchants and Planters Bank. Stop at any of our 12 locations or contact us at mnpbank.com.
We're on. Hayden Schultz, David Black, Josh Nation, Ben Black on assignment. It's Sports Unleashed. We're going to unleash a little sports for a few minutes tonight and kind of catch up on a little basketball. And school already made decisions at Newport and Tuckerman. Tell me about that, Hayden. First of all, welcome back to the program.
I was here last Monday.
I know.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Great to be here.
Great to be here. Holy cow. Trying to talk about Harry Carey a while ago. Holy cow. Wait, come back in for the show. Holy cow.
You got about the same IQ as him as well, don't you?
He's dead now, so I don't know.
Yeah, we got some winter weather coming in. I think school's already shut down. I don't know necessarily how severe it's going to be, but I think it's probably the right call. If we can just get these guys to pave a way to our gymnasium to Tuckerman's gymnasium, we'd have a basketball game tomorrow.
Like to have that, regardless, but
we don't have to worry about salting the sides, just the main drag right here, all the way up to Blythe Story. That way we can get the game in.
Well, I would think that would be a great suggestion. You're welcome to call the mayor and those folks who will be in charge of that, the highway department, to see if you can kind of get that done. Because it's going to be an ice. It's not a snow event we got coming here. It's an ice. They're calling for a major ice event, and not to make fun, but if it's a major ice event, I mean, what's when you usually have power outages and it gets cold, and lots of people have generators, and some of us don't. So
you don't?
I don't.
You come shack up with me if you need.
May have to. Got room over there. It's not just me. I mean, I have others.
I mean, you and your wife.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah,
I don't know if I can handle the whole Black clan.
I appreciate you sharing that information that I could bring Linda. I mean,
yeah.
I thought maybe it was just me. I was going to ask you when we got off the air. I said, "Well, could Linda come and maybe if it's just for one, could she come and maybe me?"
We got a spare that y'all could stay in.
Good.
Right now, it's got a bunch of workout stuff in the way, so it ain't for me.
Could we use it
if you really wanted to?
Like workout stuff and like.
No, like a mat and dumbbells and stuff like that. Nothing serious.
I'd be a dumbbell to get in there on the mat.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you, I'd be a dumbbell, all right. But,
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Greyhound basketball here real quick. And looking back to last Friday night, just you go on the road to Mountain View, Arkansas, and when somebody's shooting the lights out, and I mean literally, it's kind of hard to come away with a win regardless of how well you're going to play. I mean, Mountain View just had a great night. Talk a little bit about that. Senior boys first.
Those kids were fired up. Mountain View really wanted to win that game, and a team that has lost some games that they probably shouldn't have. I could never imagine that Mountain View would get beat by Hoxie, and that's not a shot at Hoxie. It's just the Mountain View team that we've seen the past 2 times we played them. They play good defense. They play well around the rim. They can shoot the ball from the perimeter, and when they get to the line, they make their free throws. I mean, I bet they shoot, closer to 75% from the free throw line for the year. So they shot the lights out, and it felt like everything that they shot went in. I mean, step back, hand in your face, and and there were some times that they got some open looks, but those are the ones that you might go back and say, well, if we'd have defended, but it didn't really matter. Those guys shot it well. I think early on the Hounds had a lot of momentum, and that kind of got slowed down with some foul calls and kind of got us some foul trouble. We had 3 guys foul out Friday night. So anytime that happens, even as deep as we are from our bench, I mean, you're having to put somebody in there, and you're trailing, and the feel of the game, the speed of the game feels like it's sped up a little bit more because it's like crucial that you have to go down there. It's a lot of pressure. So senior boys, fell on the road. Mountain View got to take care of business tomorrow if they get to play that game. I don't know if you can still play a game with school being out. I don't know how
you can. That's possible, yeah, because Mountain View was out of school Friday.
I don't know how that all works. And then as far as Friday, you got Melbourne at Melbourne. That's a game. That'll be a good one. If you beat Tuckerman, you still got to beat Melbourne to beat the 2 seed.
Absolutely, you do.
And you can't let those guys beat you by more than, you beat them, which I think we beat them by 15. I don't see us, falling by more than that, but it very well could be. So the Hounds just need to take care of business, lock up the 2 seed, and if the chips fall, we get the 1. With Mountain View losing another game, I very, very think that won't happen. They've got Salem, Walnut Ridge, and Hoxie left.
Right.
So that's the 5, 7, and 8.
Right. We played all the lower echelon teams, and the teams we're playing now, starting with Mountain View. Obviously they're not in they're in the driver's seat to be the number 1 seed. But then again, you take. Melbourne is just right behind us, and Tuckerman's right behind them, and you got to go on the road for all 3 of those games. So we had a great advantage early on of the schedule being in our favor. Mm-hmm. For our home games, and then all of a sudden 3 road games at the end against contenders.
Yeah, I don't think that the bottom half will change. I think Tuckerman locked up before. They beat Salem twice and played them. So I think Tuckerman's a lock at 4. Now 1, 2, and 3 could change in the coming week, depending on who falls and who loses and who wins and does stuff like that. So 1, 2, or 3 could still be, up in the air. But like you said, Mountain View kind of controls its own destiny if they win out, which they should. They'll be the 1, Hounds win out. They'll be the 2, Melbourne be the 3, Tuckerman be the 4. And then, it starts to go from there, which I would really like us to lock up a 2 seed and get that automatic bid to regional.
Absolutely, yeah.
And possibly have a chance to play Mountain View again for a district title because, like I said Friday, the good thing about losing this game is you get to play tomorrow.
Right.
And you don't want to, last year, those guys, last time they played us, that's the last time they got to play that season.
Right.
So, you got the rest of the season coming up, so you just need to take care of business and hopefully get a conference champion or a district tournament championship, something we hadn't done in 2 or 3 years. Good ball club that we had that did that. And then hopefully you want to get off into a regional championship, which that team couldn't do. Ended up getting beat by Harding.
Right.
So, those are the ones that you really want to win, and you want to prolong this and make a state tournament run, obviously. And I think this is the team that can do it and make that run. Now, we always say you got to have a lot of luck, you got to have a lot of draws and things coming like that. As far as our regional, it'll be that Manila, Osceola, Rivercrest, Gosnell. So it'll be just as tough as our conference, if not better. Osceola coming off a state championship last year. Manila's always a team to beat. Rivercrest, I don't ever remember them having a bad basketball team.
I don't either.
And
Girls or boys.
And I got to watch Gosnell play at the Kale, and they ended up getting beat by Tuckerman by 2. I think Tuckerman, that was the game that Amar Neal hit the buzzer beater. So anything can happen. I mean, and Gosnell's probably going to be the 4 seed.
Right.
Out of that conference.
Yeah.
I think Corning's still in the mix for them as well. So I was looking at it. Gosnell might be the 4 seed. And that just kind of shows you how deep they are. And it shows you, Tuckerman's probably going to be our 4 seed. So it shows you how deep. And then state tournament gets in there, and then you start getting into, teams that you might not have seen or heard about and things like that. So,
well, I will say this about Newport and Tuckerman and going on the road to play at Tuckerman. It's one of those few places that in high school basketball, and I've been covering it a long time, it's one of the few places that I would say very, 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 very difficult for you to go into Tuckerman and win there. Yeah. And that doesn't have anything to do with other than those kids play hard, they're well coached, the fans are right on top of the whole court, and it's just a tremendous basketball atmosphere. And we talked about the Kell Classic at the Swifton Gymnasium, but I mean it's just tough to play at Tuckerman. And credit to those guys and the history that they have made for the last 60, 70 years. From the girls' side and the boys' side, it's a tough place to go in there and win, regardless of how good your basketball team is. And there's no guarantee that you're going to win at Tuckerman.
Yeah, and the girls I thought played exceptionally hard against Mountain View, cut it to 6 at one point in the third quarter, and thought we could get things going. But it was the Caitlin. Is it Caitlin McCorn? I'm trying to think of.
Yes, yeah.
I think she
didn't have a great first half, but boy, did she get loose the second half and had a field day. I guarantee you she did.
It felt like every time we could chip and, we're going to cut it to 4, we're going to cut it to 2, she'd go, not so fast, I'm going to go down there and drain it.
There you go.
And she just kind of took over the game, and we did everything we could. We were subbing in girls and throwing fresh legs at her, and, sometimes people like that are just better. And they just take over the game, and that's exactly what she did at Mountain View, and we ended up falling in that game. But I thought the effort was good. I thought Burns had a real good game. Shot it well from deep. Henderson and Robinson, I thought, played exceptional defense. Nia Davis always battling down. So, we could shake things up and get into that district tournament. I think we got to play the, play-in game, as you would say. Absolutely. You got to win that one, and then I think you got to win another. To go to regional, which you would match up with somebody at the top. You would play a Salem or a Melbourne or somebody like that. So it would have to be a definite upset, a team that, has beat you this year and beat you at both places. Beat
right,
you at home and away.
Yep.
So, but anything can happen. That's the beauty of it, basketball, because, like I said, you go look at how did Mountain View get beat by Hoxie? And then it's like,
no, when you play them both and you go, I don't see that. I didn't see that happening.
And then I compare scores. I go look at Mountain View when they played Tuckerman, and how close that game was all the way throughout the game. And I'm like, man, I guess I'm missing something, or somebody's not bringing the same team that they played against Mountain View as to when we played them, because I still can't imagine that. But credit Mountain View. I think they're long, down low. They got some length. They got some guys who can break the press. I think all 5 guys can dribble.
Yeah.
They're not scared of a press. They broke it.
They don't panic offensively against your pressure.
No.
That's what they do not do. A lot of teams have panicked somewhat and tried to hurry the ball, and they didn't hurry the ball, but they had a great plan to work against our press, and they didn't turn it over.
And we've done a real good job this year getting a rebound and getting out and going to get the basket before they get back.
Right.
And Mountain View's already back there.
They're back there.
And they've already got, we don't have numbers, so we've got to, back out and run a half-court offense. I'm not saying that we're not good at it, but it's something that we not necessarily want to do. We want to go get layups on the other end. Contested layups, guy running with you. We want our athletes to be athletes, and we want to get tip balls and rebounds, and we just want to run. We want to go score at the basket. And Mountain View, credit their coach and what he's done there. And then, like I said, any time you play a team like that just shoots in that gym, It's kind of like Tuckerman too. I mean, every time you go to Tuckerman, it feels like they shoot the lights out against you.
Oh, because they can shoot in that gym.
So it's going to be a big task Tuesday to win that game, and it's going to be an even bigger task to win Friday's game. So have still got their destiny.
A lot of work. Yep.
And they got to get some things going, but I think we'll be all right.
I do want to mention this. Hi, Coach Kenny Black. Thank you for joining us. If a person needs a haircut, you and I talked about this before we got on here.
You need one.
And I definitely do need one. And if you're having a difficult time, get an appointment scheduled. I mean, if you have your own people that you're using, kudos to you. Bree Schultz, kind of like she might be related to you, huh?
A little bit.
She has joined the Village Salon, which is in the Village Mall. And she does provide that service. Tell me a little bit about her and her experience and her getting to move to this city, and because Bryson got to come home.
Yeah, so it's Bryson, my older brother's wife, that he met down at Chico County
Right.
when he got stationed there as a state trooper. Ended up meeting her and ended up getting married, and they've got 2 boys now. And Bryson got the opportunity to move back to Newport, which they live here in Newport now. It all kind of happened real fast as far as, I mean, his captain told him, he's like, all right, you got 30 days. You got to get out of here. You're going to work in 30 days, So she had a business there that she did. She cut hair. She colors hair. She does, the whole shebang.
Sure.
And Chico County, a lot like Newport, I would say, because Lake Village. Because of how small, I guess, the community is as far as how tight they are. So she had a lot of clients there.
Right.
She had to leave a lot of
her clients aren't coming to her from down there.
No, they're not
she's actually starting from scratch here.
Absolutely. Right now it's walk-ins or not necessarily appointments. You can call the number, David.
523-4247.
You can call her and set up an appointment. But right now she's pretty open as far as, I don't think she has anything necessarily on the books, but call just to double check. She's just trying to get established here. She loves Newport. She's got to see it, as they've got to travel back and forth, but now getting to live here, she enjoys it. Kids are going to be hounds. That's what's really exciting to have, the future coming back. I never knew it was going to be possible. You never know.
You and I had talked about them coming home, and you'd always told me, boy, I'm working on him, but I don't know if I can. And
right. And it came to a point where I don't know if he necessarily wanted to. He's built a life down there. He's built his family down there, his church life. He's got a lot of things down there. But he said he sat down and prayed about it, and God wanted him to come back to Newport, Arkansas, and the door ended up opening for him to come back. And both of them are excited to be here and continue to live here, and their kids be hounds. And I think Bree really enjoys it. She got to come to a couple basketball games. She come to a couple football games and got to see that. So she was a traveler when she was a kid. She traveled a lot, so it's not necessarily she had that place that was home. And I think that's what she really likes about it is it's different.
Right.
And you can't explain it. And we always talk about you can't explain it unless you live it. And until you're actually here and you can feel it in the community and things like that. I know a lot of people have already reached out and got up there and met her and seen her and got their hair done and things like that. But definitely, if you're looking for somebody, I think she'll get the job done for you that you'll like. As Andy May said, she posted on Facebook and somebody commented and said she even did Hayden Schultz's hair, made him look good. And Andy said, well, she must be a magician, not a beautician. She made Hayden Schultz.
Andy didn't, did he?
That's what he put. So
did he really?
Beautician, magician, whatever you want. But if you want to do a little business here at Newport, Arkansas, that's who I would recommend. So.
Well, you did say about getting a haircut or getting your hair done. I may just want to get mine done. What do you think?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
It looks like it's already done.
It's done for?
Yeah.
It's already done for. We're not going to stay on the air all night long, but we are going to get to some other sports and things. I want to talk a little bit about the Razorbacks. And, let me tell you what we do when we decide what we're going to talk about on this show. We have no idea what we're going to talk about until we sit down and just kind of play it by ear. But the Razorback basketball team, they've lost some basketball games, But let me tell you what, they lose a tough one the other day at Baylor. I always said it's tough to win on the road in college basketball, but they played Baylor off their feet. You know, Baylor they've beaten Kansas and a top-rated team. What's your assessment of where the Hogs are right now and their chances to get in the tournament, and what they got to do that?
Well, I think that there's no doubt that this is a tournament quality team that can make a run. But you really got to look at the full thing. I mean, when you lose Brazil down low, the big man early in the year, and then the best player in the nation, coming out of high school, Nick Smith, who hadn't really played any minutes at all for us. Guys are having to step up. Guys that might not. Joseph Pinion, I think that was a guy that kind of knew coming in, I'm probably not going to get to play a lot, but when I do, I got to make my opportunity. And I think that he's evolving as the game speed. I mean, it is totally different than high school, especially at the D1.
And Graham on the inside.
Yeah,
I mean he comes from Arizona. He's been a player before.
And then you go to LSU and win that game and get that taken care of. And I believe they got Ole Miss coming up or Texas A&M. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't even know what schedule.
I think it's tomorrow. I think they're 15-7, 14-7 on the year. You're going to lose basketball games in college basketball. Nobody's going to go undefeated, and if you do, that's just kudos to you. It doesn't happen very often. But I like their chances. I think that they'll make some noise, finishing out the year. I think they're playing a little bit better, a little more aggressive. Musselman was acting crazy the other night. I thought he was going to take his shirt off and his pants off. I like a guy like that. He's 100% there for the kids. It's not for him. It's not for show. He wants to be in Arkansas, and he wants to have good basketball. And, the recruiting that he's done and got some of those guys in, Anthony Black, I mean, that's a guy that's going to be in the NBA. Nick Smith, I think, will go to the NBA and be a first-round pick and not play.
All year. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that.
That just kind of tells you. And Arkansas is typically not a team, basketball-wise, that's going to get somebody who's going to be a one-and-done. Historically, you get those guys who are 3-star or something like that from Arkansas. Most of the time you get those guys that played at a lower end, 2, 3A basketball. And by their senior year, they might have a chance to go play at the next level. So he's kind of changed the culture as far as the guys that we get. I think we got 2 McDonald's All-Americans this year that are in high school that have already committed and going to be there next year. So we'll see. I mean, it's exciting because I think some of these guys are going to have to stay because I don't think their draft stock's going to be near as good because there's only one basketball. I don't think enough guys are getting the basketball because you can't go out there and play with 5 basketballs. So,
you could probably get a technical.
Well, you probably get in trouble.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't
allow you. So
probably wouldn't allow that.
I think the Hogs will make a run the SEC tournament and try to finish that off, and then I think that they'll get into the NCAA tournament and might be a lower seed than expected. I think everybody had real high expectations of them being a top 5 team. But who's to say that they can't come in as a 6th seed and go in there and make a Final Four run? I mean,
well, you got to get in, and it's kind of like what Major League Baseball is talking about right now. And people, sometimes get on the Cardinals for saying you got to get into the playoffs. You got to get into the tournament to have a chance to win the tournament. You have to get in, and I mean that's the whole key. If you get in, you got a chance. If you don't get in, you have no chance.
Speaking of Major League Baseball, I saw a stat today on Greg Maddux. Okay,
I've probably seen it. How many 3-2 counts he had?
No. He had 247 career starts where he didn't walk a batter.
Really?
247 career starts where he didn't walk a batter.
That's phenomenal. Well, I thought the stage you were going to say how many. He didn't go 3-0 on a lot of guys.
Well, I saw something else too, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think he threw a complete game shutout in like 82 pitches.
I think I've seen that.
And a Major League Baseball.
Right.
and probably threw 17 balls that game.
I saw.
That is unbelievable.
And he would always tell you, he said, I don't throw real hard, but if I want to throw it within that far where I want to throw it, I can.
Yeah.
And any of my pitches. If I want to throw it that far off the plate, 6 inches, I can. If I want to throw it 7 inches off the plate, I can.
Yeah.
And if you can throw it where you want to throw it, and you know what their weakness is, talking about that hitter, if you can do that, then you can pitch at any level. I don't care if you're throwing 61.
Yeah.
60. I saw a good one on Bob Gibson, the great Bob Gibson, that, and I think it was consecutive starts with at least 6 innings pitched. I think that's what the stat was. It might have been 5, but I believe it was. He's led all major league with like 78 or 76. He went 76 straight games and pitched at least 6 innings.
I bet out of those 78, he threw 65 complete games.
Don't know about that, but I do know this.
I mean,
it showed the list of
he threw. How many complete games did he throw? In his
a lot. Career? But here's the interesting part of that list. It showed the top 7. Okay, and he was number 1 at 77. Well, he was also on the list 2 other times. So he had somebody else right behind him at 2, somebody behind him at 3, and he was number 4, and then number 6 too. Yeah. And an interesting stat where he threw more complete games than he had wins.
Yeah,
he threw more complete games, so he threw a lot. I mean, and back in the day, and I can remember that's when I started following the Cardinals in 1963, 64, mostly in 64. And then, I mean, I remember Bob Gibson, and you remember a couple of other starters, but golly gee, he won 3 games in 2 different World Series, I guess, and just, I mean, he how do you win 3 games? Well, you have to hit the pitch. You know, they played those games back then. Bang, 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 bang. You have to pitch every day almost. And but boy, what a competitor! But Maddox is one of those guys that's just, I mean, as good as there's ever been on the mound. And Gibson was a flamethrower, and I love to hear the stories about Hank Aaron would tell young players just come up, they were going in, whether he was playing for the Atlanta Braves, he'd tell the young guys, he said, look, whatever you do with Gibson on the mound, don't go up there and dig in. Don't go up there and take your cleats and get ready to, because if you do, it's coming right at you. Don't dig in. So you just get in the box and try to hit it, but don't dig in, because if you do, you make him mad. And competitive nature of athletes, you got to be a little competitive.
Scott Rowland, Cardinal, getting in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Philly, Cincinnati Red. They're kind of, don't know whether he's going to go in as a Cardinal or a Philly. Played 7 years with the Phillies, 6 with the Cardinals. But boy, a phenomenal third baseman. And I read a stat interesting the other day about him. We'll get back to him, but there's not a lot of third basemen in the Hall of Fame. And I saw that and I thought, well, I know Brooks Robinson played third. I know George Kell played third. That's the only 2 I know. I mean, I know some other ones that did, but so that's 2 guys that I personally knew that they're in the Hall of Fame. They're third basemen. I know
Arkansas.
I know more third basemen. I know more. The most people I know in the Hall of Fame personally are third basemen. And the only 2 I know personally are from Arkansas. That's exactly right. And Swift in Arkansas and Little Rock Doughboys, Brooks Robinson. But a couple other things real quick. Just Super Bowl. We got a little time for people to get well. A couple of good games yesterday on TV, and it looks like it's Philadelphia, Kansas City, and the Andy Reid show. You know, spent 17 plus years at Philly and 11, 12 years at Kansas City, and so that tells me that Andy Reid has an advantage. What do you think?
Yeah, and I was wrong on my prediction at the very beginning. They didn't let Tom get in, but now they're starting to talk about that he might not come back. I told you, it's one or the other. Either he was not going to win the first round, and retire, or he was going to win it all and retire. So,
well, you know who needs a quarterback? His hometown needs a quarterback. San Francisco. They I mean, obviously they're down to their 4th, 5th quarterback. And, boy, what a story that'd be for.
He might.
Tom Brady going
You never
home
know.
and play for San
I will say this. I think that Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they got the better ball club.
They're good.
I think they're going to win it.
Well, if I do know that if Patrick Mahomes is 100%, their chances increase more so for them. He missed some throws yesterday that he normally wouldn't miss because he's got a bummed up ankle. He's got a couple of more weeks to get ready. It ought to be a classic. I've always pulled for Andy Reid. I've always pulled for, when he was at Philly, I pulled for him then. I've always pulled for him. But yesterday I was hoping Cincinnati would get in, and when they didn't, and then I go back, and I'm a Jalen Hurts guy too. because of what that guy had to go through at Alabama, get him replaced by Tua, whatever his last name is, Tagovailoa, losing your job after being the top-rated quarterback in the world, losing your job, come back, played another year as a second-team guy, and then going on and having quite a year at Oklahoma there. When but I'm hoping for a Philadelphia win. Is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I think the Eagles get it done.
No, I hope so. So what else we got to cover on the sports world? You got any trivia for me or anything?
No
trivia.
You gonna talk about your greatest Greyhounds?
I do want to mention that. I really didn't know what kind of response I would get when I decided, or we decided as a group, that we were going to put together a little something called the Greatest Newport Greyhounds. And we're going to do it on Facebook and see what kind of response we get. And we're really not even posting now. We're not posting our selections yet.
Right.
We're not even doing that yet. I mean, the selections are going to come later. But I'm literally amazed at how many people that have responded to what we put on there. I've devoted a little time to this. Matter of fact, I put in quite a few hours. And Linda says, please come to bed. It's 1 o'clock at night when I'm still digging and finding and showing and trying to come up with stuff. And I've got annuals loaded from the Jackson County Library from 1970 through 97. That's all I have, so I don't have anything after 97. And I can go all the way back to 1913 in annuals, and I really haven't decided. We haven't decided how far we're going to go back. I know we're going to go back to 1960, at least in naming, but then I'm going to keep posting pictures we have a Facebook page, and I need people to like the page. Just go to the page and like the page. That's all you got to do. Follow the page if you'd like to follow the page, but I need you to like the page. And I've had several people ask me about posting on there. I don't mind if you post. If you have something you want to post on there, you can do so. But you and I have to be Facebook friends for that to happen. Mm-hmm. I had a lady telling me that I thought was a Facebook friend of mine. I said, I've been trying to post. I've been trying to post on there and just won't let me. And I said, well, text me or send me a screenshot of what it shows. And I got to look and I said, well, you're not a Facebook friend of mine. So send me a Facebook request if you'll send me one to David Black, and then go and like the one at The Greatest Greyhounds. It got a logo. Alton Walker's built as a logo. We're going to make it a big time deal where this is not something we're just going to do for 2 or 3 months. This is going to be on there for a long, long time. It's going to be a continuous naming of the greatest Greyhounds ever in all different types of sports. I'm not calling it a Hall of Fame, but it's just I think it's very, very important that we recognize and put it somewhere where the world can see. You can have a Hall of Fame and you can put a plaque somewhere in some building somewhere, and not everybody's going to see it. But I want to do something that the world can see, and the world can actually see what we've got on there right now.
I think a lot of people forget, David, the historic program. I know you go and look and you hear and you get to. It's different when it's at the click of a button.
Absolutely
on
right.
Facebook and getting to see a picture. I got to see some people on there that are still roaming the streets.
Right.
Now I saw Benny Reynolds was on there.
There you go.
There
you go.
And I was like, man, look Coach Reynolds there. I think it's exciting to see some of that stuff. And then you go and hear some of these names that you've heard about, and then you get to match it with a face.
Right.
Now.
Right.
I've always been fascinated, which we've always talked, and you've always gave me a lot of information on some of these guys. So I kind of have a better background than maybe people my age, because
Sure.
I'm intrigued as far as tell me about Billy Warren. I want to know about Billy Warren. Well, here's Billy Warren's stats. Here's his fight. So I've got to experience that. But for some of the viewers, especially the younger guys who get to hear, and a lot of those guys say, "Man, I was good," and then you get to kind of see some of the guys that were before you, like, well, maybe I wasn't near as good as I thought I was, or get to compare, and maybe you're better. I mean, and we've got stuff that, like you said, that dates back so far, and then even the most recent stuff. I mean, with E.J. Rucker, 2,000 points.
Right. Yeah.
There should be somebody should know about that. That was
Absolutely.
a big night. I
Big
remember
night.
being there. I was a freshman in high school. We sat up there, and we blacked out the whole gymnasium. Everybody wore black, and
Yep.
E.J. hit his 2,000th. I think it was on his senior night. Phenomenal basketball player.
Absolutely.
Ended up going on further in his career and doing that. And then a guy like Colin Cripe. And you're like, nobody has ever had 1,000 yards receiving. And you really think about it, and you go, no, I mean, this guy probably had 600, and this guy probably had 400, and this guy.
Well, we went for years and didn't throw the football.
Yeah, and then
Never.
you really go back, and you're like, well, this guy was a 2,000-yard rusher, 2,000-yard rusher, 2,000-yard rusher, and then we had two 1,000-yard rushers,
Right.
or two 1,500-yard rushers, and you're like, well, golly. I mean,
Well,
we had
and you get into basketball and you get into track. Made a good post, Ricky Ellis. It kind of reminded me. One of the things that my information I'm getting from, I've asked people to send me stuff. I've asked them to send me stuff on Messenger. You can email it to me if you like. Suggestions or whatever. And I'm open for a suggestion. I can't do it all myself unless I have the help of the general public to do that. But what we have there, I want to establish something that, like you say, is at the tip of your fingertips where you can go back, and it's going to be there. You can go out and buy you a billboard advertisement. You can buy you a billboard advertisement. And you drive by and you see that. I'm not being critical of a billboard advertisement. I'm in the advertising business myself. But once it's gone, it's gone. And I've been in the newspaper business, and as those you can keep copies of and have newspaper articles, and those you can keep programs, and you can keep. I've kept a lot of stuff down through the years. I have every football game that we have ever done from 1994 through today. 1994 on a digital hard drive that to me is pretty neat that I have a library of that stuff. Now, what I don't have what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Go back and get some of the historical stuff. And I had by the way, I forgot to post on the. I posted a picture of Coach Keedy on the rafters in the '95 game, and I got that picture from Chris Dillon. He had sent me a bunch of stuff, and I've got some other stuff coming of that in the Newport Independent. So you can go to the library and you can look up all the independents that are there. But it takes a lot of work. I mean, it's a one-man operation. I'm doing all the legwork as such, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but it's going to take time to do this, and that's all I've got right now. And when I'm dead and gone, I want somebody else. I've talked to Ben about it before. I said, Ben, I want this to continue on. I want us to be able to, in 5 years today, still be doing this and still be there. Not like a billboard. A billboard's going to be gone. But these games I've got, and I've always talked about in advertising, how cool is it if you pick up a program, or I posted some stuff, where's something, like this thing right here, well, and that thing right there, this thing, I posted this. I mean, how cool is it that safety brake and muffler is on this? How cool is it on those footballs that I posted that First National Bank is on that? I've got some stuff that Merchants and Planters Bank is on. I've got some stuff that Buddy Black Tire Store is on. Here's another First National Bank. I mean, how cool is it to have stuff that there are people that are still in business? There's not a lot of businesses that are still. Jackson's Funeral Home and Merchants and Planters Bank. Been here a long, long time, been sponsors of youth activities, youth program. Those little deals right there. Jackson's Funeral Home right there. Pull out one of those little seats. You talk about a historical piece.
Kelly's Grill, Purdy's Flower Shop.
These cushions, Newport Graham cushion. I'll show you this. Now let me read on the back of it. Anybody remember Adams Brothers Texaco? Well, I certainly do. Bruce Home Electric, Dale Jarrett Service Center, Moore Furniture, White River Production Credit Association, Purdy's Flower Shop. Okay. Had one up until just a few years ago. Kelly's Big Star Food Store in the same place as the Two Chicks Florist is. Kelly's Grill. That building's still down there today on the lake. Grimes Drug Store. Jackson's Funeral Home. Tom and Wardell's Cafe. Wardell Pennington, Tom Collier. I mean, Newport Federal Savings and Loan. Reeves Food Center. Benny Payne Electrical Service. Dean Hook Motor Company. I mean, it's just amazing. Then I've got some stuff that's got Buddy Black Tire Store on it. And I mean, I'm just a Greyhound guy. I don't want to do a page that's about the Arkansas Razorbacks. I don't want to do anything about pro football. I want to do something about people that were important to our program. I'll give you a good example. Alan Fisher sent me a message today, and it's on our list. He said, I want to remind you about Timmy Henderson. And I'll post it later tonight. And you say, I don't remember Timmy Henderson. I don't remember him at all. Let me just see if I could got something here that I could find real quick, just to remind everybody. This is what this whole deal is all about. And I don't have it. You got just a minute where I can see if I can find it. I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to turn off that, and I can't operate it. So, anyway, Timmy was a manager here. See if you can get to my photos.
Okay. Your photos?
Yeah, I think I'm on it. Just hit photos and see what comes up. All right, yeah, it's X off that. If it won't let me X off that.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say, I want to try to find it right here while I.
Okay, here we go. I'm on your photos.
Okay, what's the last thing that I screenshotted?
Right there.
Got this from Alan Fisher today, and it says, when speaking of the greatest Newport Greyhounds, the conversation must include Tim Henderson. And Tim's been on my list. He's on my list. I have a list back there. It's about 9 pages long of things that are of importance. While physical limitations kept him from playing the game he loved, that didn't keep him from being a Greyhound. Tim spent many years on the Greyhound sidelines for taking care of balls, pouring up water, walking the mascot, working the crowd to congratulate or consoling players. Tim did it all with a great attitude and a smile on his face for many years. Never played, but was always there. And that guy is a true great Newport Greyhound. I mean, that's what it's all about. So I remember guys like that. He remembers guys like this. You can't forget about that, and that's the whole gist of what we're trying to do, to remember great events, great people, great athletes, great coaches, great role models that we've all had, because this guy, he's passed away now, but Timmy was just one of those guys that just did everything for the team. Got a letter jacket. He was the manager, but he was the trainer, and he was the psychologist, and he was the cheerleader, and he was all that. So that's what this whole thing's all about. And for it to be there for a long, long time, it to be there forever, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. How about it, my friend?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. He's Hayden Schultz. That's Josh Nation back over there. Appreciate Josh and what he does for Cable 15 TV. And I got a couple of things coming up. We ran this, I think earlier in the month, but I've got the Custom Eyes Vision Care Look Back, and also in that is the Bank of England post-game show and the Unity Health Player of the Game with the Subway Inside the Village Mall Coach Report from one of the greatest calls in our history, and it dates back all the way back to 2022, and the call of Got Game, as you called it?
Called Game.
Called Game. He called game, didn't he?
Yep.
John Moore called Game. We go crazy.
Threw my inner Jack Buck in there. Go crazy.
You
folks.
did, but you know what? It's amazing to have a great play call. You got to have a great play that is an important play. We talked about KP last week, a week or so ago. You got to have one that's a real meaningful call, and that was a call that sent us to a regional tournament that we haven't got to experience a lot of those down through the years, and it was one of the two of your greatest calls, ever in the history of our game, and whether it be football or basketball or baseball, whatever that I've been involved in for a long, long time. So we'll do all that, but we bid you a farewell. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and until next time, go Hounds.
Moore brings it up. Step back. M&P Insurance three-pointer is good. And they foul immediately Johnson. Johnson will go to the other end to shoot 2.
5.6 seconds to go. It's a 2-point ball game.
It's a 2-point game. 5.6 seconds to go.
Hounds got to have a stop here. Rebound and a quick get rid of it.
It's long. Crack. Board. Goes to Moore. Moore goes up. Shot up. Get it to go! He got it to go! Oh my goodness, folks! Go crazy! Go crazy!
The Greyhound.
Oh my gosh!
Court, folks.
Unbelievable! John Moore at the buzzer! Hounds win and punch their ticket here to Mountain View! Unbelievable, folks!
Unbelievable, Hayden Schultz. The Hounds trailed the
John
entire
Moore!
ball game. And John Moore
called game!
Wow, that is
my
absolutely
gosh.
Unbelievable. Josh.
We've said it once, we've said it again, Ben. How about them Greyhounds, baby?
Man. That's unbelievable, Hayden Schultz. That is unbelievable.
I thought he was hammered there as he shot the 3. I knew they weren't going to call it regardless of the outcome, and you shouldn't. And it somehow rattles home at the buzzer. And the Hounds punch a ticket to a regional berth. And guess what, Ben? We're coming back tomorrow.
We'll be back. No, excuse me. It'll be Friday. We're off tomorrow. We'll come back Friday and play here. Listen to this Greyhound Nation celebrating here tonight. Listen to these Greyhound fans.
Unbelievable effort from both teams.
Well, the fight in these Hounds just to not quit, Hayden.
Well, I want to.
Game's over. Game's over with 17 seconds. You're down by, what, 5-6 points? But these Hounds didn't see it that way. Mountain View thought they had it in the bag. Great game by those young men. But the Hounds just refused to lose. They would not take no for an answer. And John Moore comes up clutch with a big 3-point shot.
That is a gritty bunch of Mountain View.
That's unbelievable. The way that ended right there is absolutely unbelievable. We're going to go down to the court now with David Black.
We'll talk with Pootie then first, then we'll talk to Nolan, then John Moore. Pootie, you hit the 3-pointers, you kept hitting them, and just let me tell you what, for an 8th grader, you're doing great, my friend. What does it feel like to see John Moore hit that big shot?
Good. I about cried.
I about cried too when everybody started jumping on top of everybody. I didn't want to get anybody hurt. I hope everybody joins us. No, tell me about this big victory.
It was crazy, man. Coach would tell us hold them to 40. We just had to get 41.
Hey guys, hey, hold on. Keep going. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. John Moore, incredible comeback. We didn't have a chance. We didn't have a prayer. We came in here as a 9 seed, and nobody gave us any credit to do anything. And we're going to a regional, and we play Friday night. Real quick, absolutely incredible, my friend. How did that get done?
Man, I just believe. My coach believed in me. He's like, John, they get it, take it. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I about cried too, man.
John Moore, glad you're in Newport, Arkansas, my friend.
Too.
The Unity Health Newport player of the game. John Moore had a baby. Y'all ready? Okay, the Subway Coaches Report. Coach, I know you've coached a few years in your life. I know you coached a lot of AAU basketball. Have you ever seen anything as incredible as that?
No, sir. No, sir. No, I'm at a loss for words right now.
Well, that's understandable. Great crowd. I want you to talk about the folks from Newport, Arkansas that showed up tonight.
They don't understand how much that means to the boys. Like, we've had some decent crowds at Newport, and up to this point, we've let them down. You know, so the big message there was they're here. What are we going to do with it? I mean, can't do much more than that right there.
Coach, I know you want to get in and celebrate with them, but I want to just ask you just maybe one more question. We've talked about the resiliency of these kids. 5 games in 6 days. Nobody outside of us, nobody but us, gave us a real chance to make it to a regional because we're a 9 seed. We got to win 3 in a row. We're on the road. My friend, we're going to a regional.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we were a 9 seed, and everybody wants to keep reminding me of that for whatever reason, but a 9 seed just made regionals. Let me tell you a story real quick. We went into halftime 20-15, right? What's our goal of the season per quarter?
At 10?
10 points per quarter. So I told them, I looked them in the face, and I said, we can expect them to get 40. Can we get to 41?
Unbelievable.
And the final was 41-40.
Unbelievable. Coach, I know you got to go. Congratulations. An awesome night to be a Newport Greyhound. Our program is on the upswing, and we're going to another regional. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Go Hounds, man.
As always, go Hounds.
Go Hounds.
The Two Cheeks Florist and More birthday report is coming your way. Today is the 30th day of January 2023, and a happy 16th birthday to Carson T. Austin. Happy birthday, young man, 16 years old. I can almost remember when I was 16, a long time ago, but it seems to me like it was a good birthday, and I hope you have a great one, my friend, and congratulations, and always go Hounds. Other birthdays today on the 30th, my good friend Jeff Goff, who over near Leakville in the Manila area. Happy birthday to Andrea Baker, and Bob Osborne also has a birthday on today on the 30th. And tomorrow's birthday on Tuesday the 31st, Coach Russell Leggett has a birthday. Happy birthday to you, Coach. Crystal Lamb Turner with a birthday on the 31st. Corey Malcolm, former UALR baseball pitcher. Greg Ansami with a birthday. Lisa Chronister Poppleton has a birthday on the 31st, and Daniel Addington does as well. Hannah Hutchison has a birthday on Wednesday, February the 1st. Cody Cooper also with a birthday on the 1st. Justin Staggs has a birthday, as does Alec MacArthur. Mindy Linville Wilmans with a birthday on Wednesday. Ashton Daniels also has a birthday on Wednesday. Thursday's birthdays include Lindsay Wyrick has a birthday on Thursday. Chris Hutchinson, from Region 8 Sports with a birthday on Thursday as well. Steve Reagan has a birthday. Happy birthday, Steve. Derek Bryant has a birthday on Thursday, as does Mark Hager. We want to wish all of those folks happy birthday, along with Nikki Williams with a birthday on Thursday. Stacy Johnson Stomball also with a birthday on Thursday. Friday's birthdays include Maggie Elizabeth Sin. Susie Combs has a birthday on Friday. Steph Thatcher with a birthday on Friday, February the 3rd as well. Liz Weinmiller also with a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday to all of you. Several birthdays on Saturday, including Will Tanner. Gina Grady Shepard has a birthday. Jeannie Rogers Blackburn also with a birthday on Saturday. Andrew Rogers with a birthday. Tanner Rockwell also had his birthday on February the 4th. Cindy Harvey Dixon with a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Also, Sharon Pruitt has a birthday on Saturday. Caitlin Peavy also has a birthday on Saturday, February the 4th. And Dawson Cole on Saturday as well. Buddy Adams has a birthday Saturday, February the 4th, as does Justin Honey. And other birthdays coming up on Sunday include Kenny Lancaster on that Sunday. Scott Elphinstone also has a birthday. Courtney Johns has a birthday on Sunday. Macy Thomas Hembry also with a birthday. Christy Greeno on Sunday as well. And Kanisha Michelle Johnson, happy birthday this coming Monday. And once again, Carson T. Austin on the 30th, today, Monday, 16. Happy birthday to you. Two Kids Florist and More, from Cable 15 TV, and from the greatest Newport Greyhound. Until next time, happy birthday, everybody. Take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors on Cable 15 TV, Facebook Live, Sports Unleashed. And that list is long, and we certainly appreciate all of them, or we wouldn't be able to put these programs together. Included in that list is C&M Ag Depot at 2900 Highway 367 North. Farm supplies, hardware, clothing store, power tools, you name it. Before you shop out of town, come see us at C&M Ag Depot. Dia Scrap Metal, buying cars, iron, copper, cans, brass, steel, stainless, electric motors. They buy everything and they pay in real money. Give them a call at 523-3858 for more information. Fletcher Land Survey. Before you build that fence, make sure you have accurate boundaries. If you don't, you might mess up and have to tear it down. Give Kenny a call at 523-5625. Other sponsors include Fathead Pizza. That's one word and it's all caps. And it's the Hembry Brothers, Joey and Marcus. Great pizza, fresh, hot sandwiches, and the salad supreme that's second to none. You can call your order in at 870-201-1313. They'll have it ready to go. It'll be piping hot when you pick it up. Delta Trailer, been involved for 50 plus years right here in Newport, Arkansas. Dale Lee started this business many years ago in his backyard. And he built one trailer, and then one trailer went to two trailers, and then the third trailer, and then pretty soon it's a multi-trailer business, sending trailers all across the United States and Canada. These guys do it right, and let me tell you, there's no better family in Jackson County than the Eves family. And then also Temp Pro. Ask about financing on new upgrades. Sam and John Laster are the guys. Give them a call at 501-827-3213. White River Health, caring beyond health care. Until next time, everybody, this is David Black, Cable 15 TV and Sports Unleashed. Thank you. See you next week.